I've been getting asked a heap of questions recently about the 2032 Olympic Games and what it could do for property prices up here in Queensland. Now, as always, I thought the best place to start was going back and looking at history. Obviously, the first and most important reference point was the 2000 Olympic Games. Now, between 1997 and 2003, house prices in Sydney went up an incredible 97%. Now that sounds incredible, and obviously many people can grab you with that huge number, but when we look at other markets during the same period of time, many other markets, including Perth, did equal or even higher price growth. So it wasn't just the Olympic Games that was driving that growth, it was the stage of the cycle and the government stimulus in the economy at that time. So I went and geeked out on the data a little bit harder, like I do, and between 1993 and the year 2000, so in the 7 years leading up to the Games, 60% of that 97% price growth was actually before the Olympics even started. That was a super important piece of information for me as an investor, knowing that getting in early is really important. Now, the next piece of history I went and looked at was the 2018 Commonwealth Games on the Gold Coast. From my knowledge of the long-term real estate cycle, I know that coming out of a GFC from 2012, Sydney and Melbourne and the big economies around the world will always do better, and a market like the Gold Coast will lag. But even with that lag in the Gold Coast, property prices in the 5 years leading up went up 22%. If we take a step back even further, when I looked at the data surrounding the 2012 Olympic Games in London, I found that house prices around and leading up to the Games went up 38%. Now, when breaking down the speculative side of an Olympic Games, I found there were three major points. One, when the Olympic Games get announced. The second is leading up to the Games, particularly in the 4 years leading up when the majority of the infrastructure gets created. And then obviously off the back of it, with all of the tourists and people from around the world that are going to see the Sunshine Coast, the Gold Coast and Brisbane for the first time, coming back in and buying holiday homes or even relocating here for training in the future. Me personally, I definitely don't want 60% of the gains to already be priced into the market, which is why I'm actively investing in Brisbane now and will continue to do that leading up closer to the Games. Now, to round out the video, I just wanted to explain some of the big pieces of information that are important from Westpac. Now, it's going to add around about $17 billion to the Australian economy, with $8 billion of that flowing directly into Queensland. According to Westpac, it's going to create somewhere between about 110 and about 130,000 jobs, which is absolutely insane. And then there's the infrastructure piece. Now, not only at the moment is Queensland going through a population boom, but it's going through almost an unprecedented infrastructure boom. You've got the metro being added underneath Brisbane River for the first time, connecting the north and southern sides of the city. You've got light rail going into the Gold Coast and soon to be the Sunshine Coast, with heavy rail coming into the Sunny Coast as well. The Sunshine Coast has just had an incredible new hospital built, and the Gold Coast has gone through a massive redevelopment of its existing infrastructure and hospitals down there. And then you've got all of the refurbs and rebuilding of the arenas down there. So you've got the Brisbane Arena, the footy stadium, the cricket ground, the convention and exhibition centre, as well as a major upgrade going through the Brisbane showgrounds. Now, for those of you seriously thinking about investing in Brisbane before the Olympic Games, then I'd love to offer you a one-on-one strategy session, and we can talk about where you are right now and where you'd like to be longer term. We can talk about the Brisbane market, the most undervalued suburbs in the state at the moment, and what we expect coming towards the Olympic Games. And then you can take that information and either go and absolutely smash it on your own, or potentially become one of the extremely small number of clients we take on each month. And we can hold your hand, educate you on the market, and help you get the best quality investment, either close to the city, on the beaches, or in that middle ring radius, so that you can capitalize not just on the speculation, but on the key infrastructure and the population growth coming into Queensland right now. To book that session, all you have to do is jump over to www.pumpedonproperty.com, click that free strategy session button, and you can talk with myself, my brother Simon, or one of the team members about your plans and your goals moving forward. But either way, we like Brisbane as it stands at the moment and think there are some incredible opportunities coming for smart investors between now and the Games.
Woo! That's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
Getting
Have a
cool,
spin.
bro. Yeah. Oh, sweaty. So sweaty. Oh, that's good. Look at that.
So nice, eh?
Oh.